Coming to you from Crunchyroll HQ, this is the Gachiakuta After Show, where each week we are talking out the trash and breaking down the latest from the anime series, sharing our favorite moments and so much more. I've got the Watchman corrective lenses on. I'm your host, Nick Friedman.
I just bought new Watchman corrective lenses, so hopefully they work better than my current ones. It's your boy, LeAlec Murray.
Let's enter the abyss. Together.
Welcome back, sir.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm so happy to be back. And I'm so happy to be caught up on Gachiakuta because
so good.
This week's episode was
epic.
Nuts.
Incredible.
It had everything that I could want from an anime. It was like deep character reveals, large monsters, stylish action, music.
Everything.
You can tell
all the checklist.
You can tell we're approaching the culmination of this season because of just how much is going on.
I'm also I mentioned it last episode, but I'm very sad that we are reaching the apex for season 1 because it's been such a ride and it's been incredible getting to know these characters and this universe and getting a new power system to learn and just the music has been incredibly rad. The art's been rad. So I'm not ready to leave. So I may just hit replay season after this.
Honestly, yes. Okay, so before we get into this week's episode, which is episode 22 of Gachiakuta, we actually got a comment from Spotify from Tyler, and this was left on the episode with Mori Calliope, which if you haven't listened to it, it was so amazing to have Mori back in the Anime Effect family. I was really bummed to have missed that episode. But anyway, Tyler on Spotify said, "Never underestimate the small, pathetic characters."
That's like anime law at this point. I think it's like an anime law. Tyler is referring to Fu, who was supposed to be quote unquote fighting engine, but basically kind of fanboyed out and was like, I actually kind of don't want to be here. Can you just hit me? So
can you just hit me real hard on the back of the head? Yeah,
can you just hit me real hard? But I also am assuming that this has something to do with what his actual powers are. And I'm sure we're going to see it, if not the end of the season, when we get into what happens later in the series. I'm sure we'll figure out more what Fu is about. But yeah, I agree. That is the anime trope of the anime tropiest. So
yeah, also it's me, the small pathetic character of the Gachiakuta After Show.
Oh my God, shut it.
Moving on to our recap. Let's jump into the recap of episode 22. Okay, so this episode starts, we get a bit of a glimpse into a ground town, and we see that the trash storm that has been spun up via, all of Zodel's craziness, the trash beast, all the fights, is reaching inside of cities. Yep. That is not good.
And it's incredibly scary.
Yeah, certified bummer for this to be happening. Yeah, it is terrifying. We get a bit of a POV from a young character who's kind of inside their house, and they see this just giant trash tornado just sort of approaching.
I was so confused at first because I thought it was like a character flashback. I
did too.
And then when the trash dragon starts kind of spinning up stuff, I'm like, oh no, this is death and destruction. This is what this is.
I tried to think of a name for maybe the dumpster dragon. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Funny
trash
name.
Dragon, dumpster dragon is good. We can go with dumpster dragon.
Yeah. That dragon had a dumpy. No, that's not right. All right, and then we sort of zoom back into what we now know as a flying trash beast from the revelations a few episodes ago. Zodel says, "I'm out. See you guys later."
He's just like, all right, cool. I did what I was supposed to do. Okay, bye. And everybody's looking around like, how you just go do this and leave? Yeah. How you just go leave?
And then we're sort of shifted.
I said that too. I'm on my couch like, how you just go leave? So you cause all this chaos and with the dumpster dragon and you just go leave. Yep. All right, cool.
Yep. And then we shift back to Noirde, who... Wow.
What she
pulls off in this episode is pretty crazy. Definitely one of the most visually stunning parts of the series to this point.
Incredibly stunning. The way that like the animation and the lights and like even, you know, how they zipped in and out of like her flashback as a character when she meets Zodal for the first time and, you know, the comb and stuff like that. Like it was very cleanly done. Also, flashing lights warning for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's very like, it gets kind of nuts, but it's definitely worth it.
An audio-visual feast.
Oh, incredible. I can say that definitely she was not happy about the Glocky special she got from Rio. So, you know, she had to do something.
All right. So what happens after this, Lee? Because I feel like the next part of this episode was designed specifically for you and I.
This was made for us. Guita shows off what her giver power is. And she can turn into a kaiju. It's so incredibly cool.
Oh my gosh. It starts to make sense, like, why in such close quarters, like, we weren't getting that glimpse of what their giver power was. So,
but also, what's interesting is, and we can talk about more of this in the pit pool, but when she was asked if she could use her powers, they were like, yeah, just three. And it was like, oh, so there's more?
There's more.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that was really great. And anyway, we end the episode. The cleaners do their job. They clean. They land back on the ground. And we just keep moving toward the finale. 2 episodes left, y'all.
There was a really cool part when, you know, when they're like falling out of the trash beast and Guito was like, oh, I'm like a soft, like squishy dragon. Like, hey, hang on to me.
Everybody hang on.
And Rudo notices Amo's boots, like the Watchman boots, like falling like in the debris. And he kind of like zips around and like catches the boots, but he can't grip onto Guida like good enough. And then here comes Engine, Mary Poppins, y'all. just pulls him up with the umbrella. Just whoop.
I know. Yeah. I hate that
so
Engine,
good.
Like, every episode Engine throws up, like, 3 different death flags.
I know!
You know, like... He's, like, a combination of every, like, death-flagged anime character mentor.
Yes.
And yet, the show continues to surprise us when it comes to, you know, him and everyone else, right? The relationship between him and Rudo, the subversion of his powers. Like, it's... You can tell we're in the end game right now.
And, you know, and we've said this before, but I love how Engine as a character is, you know, basically the engine of the show.
Because good point.
Because he, you know, he's the one that's, you know, pulled the group together in the first place. He's kind of like the main spokesman of the cleaners. Like he's got a lot of machinations happening that I don't think a lot of people really know. So,
all right. So speaking of the cleaners diving out of the trash beast and landing on the ground, we're going to do our own dumpster dive. Okay, so we're focused this episode on what has been dubbed the Watchman Colossus.
He would have fit into the PlayStation game. He would have fit right in there. Shadow of the Colossus. There you go.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this one?
It would have fit right in there.
Where are you going?
I got there.
Yeah, so the Watchman Colossus seemingly guards the border, takes anything and everything that is most dear to you.
Yes.
Which is terrifying.
Which is nuts because like when Narede sees it, she immediately has this like revelation of like, she kind of flashes back on her life again and she goes, oh wait, is this? And then she gets zapped out of existence.
Yep.
And it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like, she gets done really dirty in this by the Watchman Colossus. She loses her comb and her hair as well.
Her person, like her whole person maybe? Like who knows?
Yeah. So, but this is where we get more of a glimpse of Norede's past. We see, like, you know, Lee briefly mentioned it, but Zodal is the one who gave her the comb, and he says something to her, but we're not quite sure what.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, as we start getting more flashbacks for some of these other characters, like, what we're really kind of starting to see, how I mentioned that, you know, Engine is the driving force for the cleaners. Zodal is like the anti-Engine is kind of like what he's kind of making himself out to be. Like he's gathering his raiders and his people and he's promising them whatever, and he's saying whatever, and he's probably also responsible for a lot of, how they, use their powers and their abilities as well, just by, where they're in the cone. So
I'm seeing him as sort of like an evil Santa Claus that delivers vital instruments to these characters.
Yes, absolutely.
At their most vulnerable, right? Like,
yeah. And I think, and we get clues of that, of how he was trying to get Rudo, right? Like, he caught Rudo at a time where he could have, like, gone one way or the other. And it was very, like, and that was very much his plan all along. What I'm going back to the Colossus, what I'm really wondering is that at the end, when Zodal leaves, he was like, I will have the Watchmen series. Like, I will have the complete series. The way he says it is very, like, self-assured, and it's very,
it's matter of fact.
Yeah, he's like, no, I will have these. And I don't know if that's because he knows about the Watchman Colossus, or he knows, like, in and around the legend of it.
Or does he know what's going to happen? Like, is there a precog element to this? Like, yeah.
And then also at the same time, it's like, did Rudo's dad know also? Like, there's a lot of like, because Rigetto, honestly, like, he could know something that we just don't. And that's probably why he was so, like, squeamish on giving the gloves to Rudo in the first place.
Yep.
But then also you have to factor in the angels as well. I'm sure they also have something to do with this. So there's a lot of stuff happening, with the Colossus and a lot of the characters that it's becoming a bigger thing. And I don't even know if we're going to solve where it is right now by the end of the season.
All right. So let's jump into the pit pull for this episode. So I have one little moment and then my main focus for the pit pull. My little moment is literally the last line of this episode where Rudo, like, basically passes out, and then he looks up at Grease and he goes, "Big bro?"
Yeah.
and Grease is like, "Big bro." And then the episode ends.
He just passes out, yeah.
Well, I had to go back a few times because I'm like, is this a reveal that they're related? And I was like, no, he says, he's saying Aniki. Like, he's like, "Grease, is that you?" Boom.
Yeah.
He's like, huh?
And it's kind of a sweet moment because it kind of, like, encapsulates everything that Rudo has been going through in, like, the last 5 or 6 episodes, and like really kind of, like, finding himself and finding, like, his new balance, and, like, really, figuring out what it means to be attached to the people that, to
have a new family. And then I said that was the small part. It ended up being my main focus because it was so good. But no, I think this leads well into yours. So I'll just say the scale of this episode.
Yes. Oh my God. In multiple ways.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's like something that this series has done really well so far is shown us scale. I mean, even when from the very first teaser visual reveal for Gachiakuta, and we see Rudo, like, sort of like, Fortnite battle bussing into the into the ground, like, we know that this show is going to deal with massive scale, and we really got that in droves in this episode. So, LeAlec, your pit pull.
Kaiju Guida! You know what, man? Like, this was so us coded. It's like, they must know we talk about Godzilla every other week. So this was such an amazing reveal. It was so worth it because this was a question that we had when we met Guida for the first time, on, like, when the cleaners were all hanging out in that bar. When the gang got split up in the trash beast, she was by herself. So it was like, okay, we need to, hopefully we figure this out. And then at the perfect moment, we get Kaiju Guida that saves everybody from the trash beast, like, from like falling out of the trash beast. And I'm really excited because now that we know that giver powers can be amped up, and there's also seeming to be a scale according to them. If that was Guida at a 3, what is their full range? What does a 1 look like? Is a 1 just, like, very battle armory? Is, like, a 2, like, kind of like a mini kaiju? Like, I'm very interested to see how this develops, but this was one of the coolest moments of the show for me. And I think it was a mix of, like, just laughing hysterically from excitement, but then also, like, as we like to do on the show, just kicking our feet and, enjoying the moment. So,
yeah. Hell yeah.
This was great.
I love it. Well, that is our pit pull for the week. And with that, it's a wrap on episode 22 of Gachiakuta and the Gachiakuta After Show. Y'all, if you did not check out our episode with Maury Calliope, I hope you did, because it was the last sequential episode for this show.
Yeah, I would hope so. I hope you're not skipping around.
Definitely go check that out and look for something special on the main Anime Effect feed. And just, if there's one thing you can do as we approach the holidays, tell a friend or family member about this show. Get them watching Gachiakuta, and then, you can check out the Gachiakuta After Show with them. Make it a whole family thing. It's like we're all sitting at the table eating Christmas ham.
You eat ham on Christmas?
I don't know, man. Lee, are you ready to take us out?
I guess if we must. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Gachiakuta After Show, brought to you by Crunchyroll and the folks over at Sony Music Entertainment. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
The Gachiakuta After Show is hosted by me, Nick Friedman, LeAlec Murray, and Leah President, who's on assignment. We are executive produced by Jonathan Hirsch, Joanna Clay, and your boy, it's me. Thank you to our lead producer, Kyla Carnero, our producer, Carla Solarsino, and our associate producer, Zoe Culkin. Open Ended Films edited and mixed this episode's audio. Our head of production is Sammy Allison. Special thanks to Tamika Balance-Kalasny and, of course, the creators of Gachiakuta themselves, Kei Urana and Hideyoshi Andou.
The coolest people we know, and we will be back next week with more Gachiakuta, of course, and catch us on the regular Anime Effect and on Fridays when we do, special stuff. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
Bye.
Later days, y'all.